are going to learn about our first independent revolution. So, this is the chapter 5 of class 8 and the name of the chapter is When People Rebel. In this chapter, we are learning about the revolt of 1857. This is the Great Rebellion or the Sepoy Mutiny. We Indians proudly call it the first war of independence. So, let's start a journey into our rebellion. Since the mid-18th century, Nawabs and Rajas had seen their power erode. They had gradually lost their authority and honor. Residents had been stationed in many courts. The freedom of the rulers reduced. Their armed forces disbanded and their revenues and territories taken away by stages. Failed negotiations of ruling families. Many ruling families tried to negotiate with the company to protect their interests. For example, Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi wanted the company to recognize her adopted son as the heir to the kingdom after the death of her husband. Nana Sahib, the adopted son of Peshwa Baji Rao II, pleaded that he be given his father's pension when the latter died. However, the company, confident of its superiority and military powers, turned down these pleas. Annexation of Awadh. Awadh was one of the last territories to be annexed. In 1801, a subsidiary alliance was imposed on Awadh and in 1856 it was taken over. Governor General Dalhousie declared that the territory was being misgoverned and British rule was needed to ensure proper administration. Next topic is plans to end the Mughal dynasty. The company even began to plan how to bring the Mughal dynasty to an end. The name of the Mughal king was removed from the coins minted by the company. In 1849, Governor General Dalhousie announced that after the death of Bahadur Shah Zafar, the family of the king would be shifted out of the Red Fort and given another place in Delhi to reside in India. In 1856, Governor General Canning decided that Bahadur Shah Zafar would be the last Mughal king and after his death, none of his descendants would be recognized as kings. They would just be called princes. Next, we are discussing that peasants and zemindars. In the countryside, peasants and zemindars resented the high taxes and rigid methods of revenue collection. Many failed that to pay back their loans to the money lenders and gradually lost the lands they had tilled for generations. The Indian sepoys in the employ of the company also had reasons for discontent. They were unhappy about their pay, allowances and conditions of service. Some of the new rules violated their religious sensibilities and beliefs. Mutiny to popular rebellion. After 100 years of conquest and administration, the English East India Company faced a massive rebellion that started in May 1857 and threatened the company's very presence in India. Sepoys moved in several places beginning from Meerut and a large number of people from different sections of society rose up in rebellion. Some regard it as the biggest armed resistance to colonization in 18th century anywhere in the world. Our next topic is from Meerut to Delhi. Execution of Mangal Pandey. On 29th March 1857, a young soldier, Mangal Pandey, was hanged to death for attacking his officers in Barakapur. Some days later, some sepoys of the regiment at Meerut refused to do the army drill using the new cartridges, which were suspected of being coated with the fat of cows and pigs. 85 sepoys were dismissed from the service and sentenced to 10 years in jail for disobeying their officers. This happened on 9th May 1857. Next topic is political importance of Bahadur Shah Zafar. The Mughal dynasty had ruled over a very large part of the country. Most smaller rulers and chieftains controlled different territories on behalf of the Mughal ruler. Threatened by the expansion of British rule, many of them felt that if the Mughal emperor could rule again, they too would be able to rule their own territories once more under Mughal authority. The British had not expected to this happen. They thought the disturbance caused by the issue of the cartridge would be die down. But the Bahadur Shah Safar's decision to bless the rebellion changed the entire situation dramatically. Often, when people see an alternative possibility, they feel inspired and enthusiastic. It gives them the courage, hope and confidence to act. The spread of rebellion. After the British were routed from Delhi, there was no uprising for almost a week. It took that much time for news to travel and a spurt of mutinies began. The rise of new leaders. Many new leaders came up. For example, Ahmadullah Shah, a Maulavi from Faisalabad, prophesied that the rule of the British would come to an end soon. He caught the imagination of the people and raised a huge force for supporters. He came to Lucknow and to fight the British. Bhakt Khan, a soldier from Bareilly, took charge of a large force of fighters who came to Delhi. He became a key military leader of the rebellion. In Bihar, an old Zemindar, Kanwar Singh, joined the rebel sepoys and battled with the British for many months. Leaders and fighters from across the land joined the fight. The next important topic is the company fights back counter-attack. Unnerved by the scale of the upheaval, the company decided to repress the revolt with all its might. It brought reinforcements from England, passed new laws so that the rebels could be convicted with a case and then moved into the storm centers of the revolt. Delhi was recaptured from the rebel forces in September 1857. And the last topic of this chapter is aftermath. The British had regained control of the country by the end of 1859, but they could not carry on ruling under the land with the same policies anymore. So friends, this chapter was finished. I will come back with another interesting chapter in next video. Till then, goodbye.